Assassin's Creed Unity, the next-gen installment to the Assassin's Creed franchise. It promises a vibrant, immersive, open-world experience with great gameplay and an excellent story. But does Assassin's Creed Unity fulfill the promises? Is this the next step forward for the franchise, or a step back? In order to find out, we'll have to take a look at the presentation, gameplay, story, and functionality of the game. Let's start with the presentation. The graphics of Assassin's Creed Unity maxes out at a 900p resolution on consoles. Yes, it is not 1080p, but that does not mean the game is ugly. In fact, it is far from it. The scale of Paris is absolutely breathtaking, as well as the architecture. The layout of Paris has a claustrophobic vibe to it, which makes the free running a blast. The crowds and NPCs of the game are also, from a technical standpoint, impressive, having about 1,000 NPCs on the screen at any given time. The city of Paris also has different sections, and each section provides a different tone, such as the slums, the farmlands, and the claustrophobic mainland. Each of these sections adds to the atmosphere of the overall game. The city feels alive even when you aren't doing anything, which makes the game that much more immersive and impressive. While the scale and presentation of Assassin's Creed Unity is impressive, does the gameplay support the quality and scale the presentation provided? Assassin's Creed gameplay has always been phenomenal, especially Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but Assassin's Creed Unity seemed to take everything I loved in the Assassin's Creed gameplay and replace it with an overcomplicated free run system, a combat system that made me feel like an apprentice rather than a master assassin, and collectibles that are locked behind a companion app or a web-based game. The free running of Assassin's Creed Unity, unlike previous games that consisted of one button press to free run, consists of 3 different button combinations. One combination of button presses lets you go up, another lets you go down, and the last one lets you go straight. Sure, it provides the player with more control over the assassin, but it is quite a hassle to get used to, and sometimes the free running system doesn't even work. I would rather have a simplified control system with less control of the assassin than an overcomplicated one that rips the enjoyment of free running out of the game. The combat of Assassin's Creed Unity, to put this elegantly, is god-awful. There are button delays when trying to parry, the icons of enemies about to attack are so tiny you don't even know when they're about to strike, and just when you think you had a fighting chance, some random enemy will shoot you for what can be an insta-kill sometimes. The guns of the game are overpowered, and not your guns, but the enemy guns. I bought the longest range rifle in the game and couldn't even shoot across the street. However, the enemies had no problem shooting me from 2 blocks away. Sure, I understand they are trying to push for a more stealthy Assassin's Creed game, but once you're caught, and you will get caught, because everyone in France apparently likes to look at the sky, you might as well consider yourself dead. So, free running is okay, combat is a joke, so what else makes Assassin's Creed a great franchise? The collectibles. Well, that is until you play Assassin's Creed Unity, because most of the chests are blocked by either a companion app or a web-based game. So if you're a completionist and like to see a spotless map, you might as well bang your head against the hardest surface you can find, because that's never gonna happen. Unless you have internet and a smartphone. Assassin's Creed Unity also introduces co-op and customization into the franchise. Co-op is fun when you play servers work, which is a rare occasion. And most missions promote stealth, but that never happens because once one of you gets caught, and since the gameplay is so awful, you all will get caught because you're just trying to save your friend. If Assassin's Creed Unity does anything right gameplay-wise, it's the customization. I absolutely loved customizing my assassin and hope it returns to the next Assassin's Creed game. The downside to customization is some unlocks require, again, a companion app or the web-based game, which is really disappointing and quite frankly annoying. Well, the presentation is phenomenal, but the gameplay is subpar. Maybe the story can tilt the scale in the game's favor. The story follows an assassin named Arnaud Dorian who lives a life where everyone he loves dies or betrays him. You see him as a young man who knows how to free run because everyone in France can free run, and follow him through his journey on becoming a master assassin and questioning the motives of the Creed. The story is a lot more assassin-centric than Black Flag, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed the story. Arnaud is a character I would not mind seeing again. So a quick recap. Presentation is great, gameplay is subpar, and the story is good. But how does the game function? The game does not function at all. The frame rate drops, NPCs have these remarkable abilities such as levitation and teleportation. Arnaud can scale invisible buildings, and if he feels like it, phase through the ground. The game crashes frequently, and it feels like it is in early access. Heck, it even feels like it's in the alpha phase. But don't worry, the microtransactions work. 3 patches and a small indie game-sized patch later, and this game still acts like it's running on an engine powered by a hamster wheel. With all these glitches and bugs, the presentation really takes a toll, because if you can have 1,000 NPCs on the screen at once, but your game doesn't work, it's kind of pointless. Overall, Assassin's Creed Unity shoots for the stars and misses due to a drop in frame rate and gameplay. All the promises fall short, not because of the presentation, but because of the execution. There are some features I would like to see return, such as customization and a more stable online component. Other than that, I just hope the next Assassin's Creed game can actually work. I'm giving this game a 6.5 out of 10, and I'll see you all later. Peace!